I've watched and played Dragon Ball ever since I was a kid, starting with the Budokai games back in 2003, 2004, 2005, although I only started playing them in like 2004 because I could actually like remember stuff because I was a kid. I was only 4 years old. Banging them out with my cousin, just beating each other, trying to just beat the game in general. Then moving on to Budokai Tenkaichi, realizing how good those games were, how well they told the story, how many characters you had. It was just a great time to be a Dragon Ball fan. Eventually I moved on to Naruto, my personal favourite anime, because I'm not much of an anime guy myself, but you know, I quite like the popular stuff because I'm a little clout chaser. But it was April 2023, going through a rough time, and I just thought, you know what, I could really re-experience the Dragon Ball series now. And I'd never played Dragon Ball Kakarot, and it was on sale for £25, so I said, you know what, how bad could it be? I'm sure it's actually pretty good. So I bought it, I sat down, I grabbed my controller, I booted my PC up again because I had to reinstall my Windows for some reason. I lost a lot of content. And I just sat there for 8 hours straight. But you read the title, you saw the thumbnail. So why am I making this video if I like Dragon Ball that much? Sit back and let's talk about it. I didn't know what Dragon Ball Kakarot was meant to be. All I know is it was meant to be an up-to-date, outstanding visually retelling of all 4 sagas of Dragon Ball. Well, not all 4, but you know what I'm saying. You know, it's Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, Cell Saga, and Buu Saga. So I kind of knew what to expect, but my god, I did not expect the quality of game that I just bought. I booted up the Saiyan Saga, starting from the very beginning, and I felt this weird sense of, hang on a minute, this just doesn't feel right. I started playing a bit, I started running around, started doing fetch quests in a Dragon Ball game. Instantly, I'm already thinking, hang on a minute, this is open world, I'm doing fetch quests. The Dragon Ball story is already pretty long. But I kept playing, I kept pushing through, and I realized there was RPG elements in this game, and I thought, okay, an RPG open world Dragon Ball game, cool, that sounds cool. And I kept going. I had my first fight, and it dawned on me, this is not the kind of Dragon Ball game I wanted at all. I started fighting, I had my first combo going, I was like bang, 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 I was teleporting a little bit, I was training, I was getting used to it, I was like, oh my god, this is really cool, but it was still in the back of my head. Why doesn't this feel right? Why does this not feel fun? But I kept going, and I kept pushing. Another fight, the same combo, the same moves. And that's when I realized, oh shit, there's only 2 combos in this game. I've got to look at this game very differently to other Dragon Ball games. So I tried, I kept going. I played through the Saiyan Saga, and it was really, really boring. I couldn't believe it. How can you make Dragon Ball, you know, this story about perseverance, hard work, determination, how do you make that boring? Because the developers sure as hell figured it out. The pacing of Dragon Ball Kakarot is downright awful. Scenes go on and on, it's long expository dialogue, while also missing out on key, vital scenes of the Dragon Ball story. This game, Dragon Ball Kakarot, is all about retelling the story. We've all watched it, we've all played through it on other games, but this was meant to be a modern, up-to-date take on it where they show everything, they hold nothing back, but they held a lot back while also padding it out with the stuff we didn't want to see. And this goes on, and I only got to the end of the Frieza Saga, but we'll get there in just a minute. So I played through it. The boss battles are pretty cool. The customization is getting somewhat decent. You know, you've got new moves, you've got super moves, just no new combos. You're playing as Piccolo, you're playing as Gohan, you're playing as Goku when he comes back, you're fighting Vegeta, you're doing all this cool stuff, you're fighting him before his tail gets cut off and everything. They're committing to it, but it's still, and this is the key word, it's still boring. It's ridiculous. The combat mechanics feel lackluster. As I said, there's 3 or 4 combos, but you're doing the same thing over and over again. There's no creative options. You just spam B and then dash over and spam B again, while re-experiencing the story in a worst way. It's just full of filler, weirdly enough. Just long dialogue section, open world section where these random robot enemies attack you and it's boring, and you do fetch quests to move the story on. I don't understand what the goal was with Dragon Ball Kakarot. Anyway, I took a break. I went downstairs, I made myself a cup of tea because I was moving into the house at that moment in time. So my bed wasn't even made. My room was not capable of YouTube videos due to the sound bouncing off all the walls with nothing in the room apart from my desk and PC. So I took a break. I came back upstairs and I played through the Frieza Saga. By the time I finished the Frieza Saga, I was about 7, maybe 8 hours in. I played through it and it's the same issue. the same problems, the same combos, the same dialogue problems, the same visuals, the same goofy music that is not Dragon Ball at all. And I finally just reached my limit, and I just thought, you know what, I'm done. I couldn't even finish Dragon Ball Kakarot. That's bad. Like, Dragon Ball games you should be able to complete fairly easily because the story is entertaining. The gameplay is like this amazing combination of like superpowers and hand-to-hand combat, you know, that's what made Dragon Ball appealing, you know what I mean? But I couldn't even finish it. So I gave up. I just said, you know what, I'm done. That was April. It is now July. 1st of July 2023. And here I am making a review because I was making a different video about storytelling in gaming, and it reminded me about how badly Kakarot was done. And I spent money on it, so I thought, let's just make this weird story time review kind of thing. It's so generic, it's so by the books, it's so passionless that I thought, why not make a video with the exact same vibe? But the question I leave to you guys, did you play it? What are your thoughts on it? And am I wrong? Because I might be wrong, I'm not too sure. But for me, this has got to be one of the worst Dragon Ball games I've ever played. And there are plenty of bad Dragon Ball games. Thank you for watching, really appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed, different kind of video, not a full review, game didn't deserve it. Thank you very much for watching, appreciate it, bye.